fucking scoot back a little so I guess so I don't punch the microphone. Hey, come listen to our podcast, yeah. Please listen, it's a hitch. If you don't listen to our podcast, yeah, then you are a bitch. Welcome to our episode on Furious Fred. I am your host today, Owen.
You gotta put something in front of it.
Ovacious
Owen.
I'm absolutely
with
outstanding.
Ornery.
What's an angry synonym with
I think
O?
ornery, isn't it?
Yeah, ornery Owen. With livid Lance.
I was about to say luscious Lance, but okay.
And now what's up?
And cuckold Cody.
He's angry.
I'm just kidding, Cody.
Okay, so today's episode, if you haven't guessed yet, is Mad Max. The first one, released in
1979, motherfucker. I know your own movie.
You already got it. But so I just want to start off with, have you guys seen Mad Max before, or
What our experiences with the franchise may be?
Yeah, I'll just start with you, Lance, since you're right here.
Okay, cool. Well, my father is a big fan of the movies. I don't think he's seen the Tom Hardy one from 2015. So, but he always refers to Mad Max 2 as the Road Warrior. I never understood why, because ever since I saw the title on movies, it's always been Mad Max 2, the Road Warrior. But it was released in the States as the Road Warrior with no Mad Max in the name. So I know that, and I'm a big fan of the professional wrestling tag teams, the Road Warriors and Demolition, who took influence. They took influence from the look of Lord Humongous and his biker gang in Mad Max 2.
What a fucking rush. And then we'll go with
But that's about it. There's not much more. This is the first time I've ever seen this movie 2 days ago.
All right.
Coder?
Yeah, so my only experience with the franchise has been with I think it came out the 2015 PlayStation 4 game. I guess it also came out on Xbox.
That game's actually all right. I like that game.
It's all right.
Yeah.
But that was literally my only experience with the franchise until about a week ago when I watched the movie for the first time. And since then, I've watched the second Mad Max. But I will say that watching this movie after only really knowing anything because of that game, it was not what I expected the movie to be.
Yeah, this first one's a lot different than like the rest in the franchise.
The third one, did it come out in 84 or 85? Let me look up one thing, because there's one thing about that movie that influenced another item in professional wrestling. Hold on. I can't remember what they called it.
Was it like Blaster Master or some shit?
No. Well, I think Master Blaster, they did use that, but I think they were doing Road Warrior ripoffs. Hold on.
It was the name of Hulk Hogan's sex tape. Hulk Hogan's Beyond Thunderdome.
War Games, which Alex and Jacob will know what it is. I think Cody will too. Was a match in WCW. They had two rings and they had
the Thunderdome.
Well, no, it was called War Games, but it was a cage that fit over both things, and they would do a thing where two guys would start off, and unironically, the heels would always get the advantage because they'd win the coin toss, so they would be the third person, and then you'd alternate. Yeah. And the match would be done by either submission or forfeit or pinfall after all 8 guys were in the match. Yeah. And Dusty Rhodes took inspiration from the Thunderdome movie, Beyond the Thunderdome, to make the match.
Yeah, I think I remember that, because in like the games or something, so like in SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 where I played, there's like a thing where like you would start off in a tube. Mm-hmm. And like it would open up every once in a while. Like
you're thinking of Elimination
the Elimination Chamber,
yeah, okay.
which all this stuff's like an offshoot of War Games, which War Games is an offshoot of like the original just cage match. Yeah. Which is where 2 guys enter the cage, no one escapes, supposed to be pinfall submission.
Hell in a motherfucking cell.
Yeah, and I'm not a fan of cage matches with roofs on them because it's limited what you can do. I'm a big fan of people climbing to the top of the cage and then jumping off. And doing crazy shit like that. But yeah, that's just like Beyond the Thunderdome. I knew Dusty Rhodes had liked that movie and liked that concept to make the match for, like, at the time, NWA, Jim Crockett Promotions, and it went on to WCW. And I think WWE has done it for their NXT brand too. So, but yeah, anybody other than Alex and Jacob will not fucking care what I just said.
There's our wrestling history.
Every episode, baby, I'm aiming for it.
But so yeah, my history.
The next movie will be really easy to do because John Cena's in it.
What is the next movie?
The Suicide Squad, the new one.
Squad.
The Suicide Squad.
It's okay of a movie.
The Kill Yourself group, dude.
Owen, what is your experiences with the Mad Max franchise, sir? And why do you hate Tom Hardy so much?
I love it when Mel Gibson screams about honest coke vendors.
Oh, okay, yeah. I will say Mel Gibson has wonderful hair in this movie.
Yeah. Doesn't he still have really good hair?
I think he had a hair transplant because he was losing it.
Fucking bitch.
It's kind of fake, but whatever.
Fuck you, Mel Gibson.
But it just shows that you can have like a perfect hairline and still lose your hair to anybody. So it's never over. Until
Fucking
it's
Mel
over.
Gibson, you little bitch.
Hey, one of these days, once we get I think this slate of movies for this year for this podcast has been kind of booked up almost. I definitely want to do like the Lethal Weapon movies eventually, which Mel Gibson's in. They're fucking great.
Okay.
But sorry, go ahead.
My experiences. Well, when I was a kid, I played like the Fallout games, which are inspired by Mad Max. So like, I had a knowledge of the
The occult.
visual kind of,
Okay.
the cult status and like the visual look of
And I
Mad
meant
Max.
the occult. You're a part of a cult.
Yeah,
You're a demon
sacrifice
worshiper.
virgins for the Lord Baphomet. But so I had an understanding of like the lasting legacy that Mad Max had on like pop culture and stuff. So I've always been interested in it, and I didn't really get the opportunity to watch it until I was around 13 or so. And then so I started with the first movie, which this first movie did what Cody said earlier and kind of like wrecked my expectations because it was kind of different than what I was expecting. I was expecting like Mad Max 2 basically. But
That's always the visuals you see, like when it's advertised
you always
on TV.
see it's
him
always
in the desert, like come to me
with
or
the
some
one
shit.
sleeve and like the dog and the sawing off shotgun, which he has that in this, and then he still has a leather outfit. But
A lot of leather in this movie.
yeah, there is a lot. Actually, there's only two outfits that are made of leather. It's Goose's and Max's.
Also, when he goes to see Fifi, he's wearing leather pants with a tie, with no shirt, and a cigar, watering his plants.
It's
So
hot
it's
as
also.
fuck.
I was not expecting that dude to be like that, which is cool. It just kind of blew my mind. I'm like, oh, let me look up this guy, Mr. Fred Ward.
But
I think is his name.
so yeah, I watched this one, and I grew to kind of appreciate this one, even though it was kind of weird to me at first. Because there's just like I really wasn't expecting the love kind of side.
Oh, with
plot.
his wife.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting all those scenes with him and his son, really. And I remember as a kid, I felt those were boring, but I guess I shouldn't have said that because I wanted to see what you guys thought about them.
I'll let Cody go first. He watched it before I did, and what he said kind of set my expectations before I watched it. I don't know, not really. I knew it wasn't what I was going to be expected, but I also knew by reading up on it before, like years ago, that it was way different than the second one. But go ahead, Cody. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the expectations go, I'm in the same boat as you, Owen, where like I went into it thinking, desert wasteland, very post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
And when you watch it, it seems like, for one, there's a lot of green in the environment, which was kind of surprising.
This one doesn't take place in the apocalypse. It's just supposed to be like a few years into.
Before.
Yeah. It's supposed to be like a few years set into the future, and
which they don't. Do they explain it in this movie? I know they explain it at the very beginning of the second movie, but I don't remember them ever really explaining it in this one.
What, the like energy
Timeframe?
crisis?
No, they don't explain that at all.
Yeah.
There's no mention of that at all in
Yeah,
the movie.
it's just supposed to be kind of like a dystopia. The only like instances you get, I guess, of like the energy crisis thing is like when there's just stealing gas from that tanker. But
Yeah, I didn't take that as that. I took that as just the biker people were not going to pay for gas.
yeah, I
And it
mean,
was just them stealing it.
that's about the only thing that could give you a bit of a hint.
Yeah, because all it said at the beginning of this movie was a couple years into the future, and there was nothing mentioned else. And the only thing I know about from Wikipedia on part 2 was that takes place 3 years after this movie.
Yeah. I don't even think the nuclear apocalypse is mentioned in the second one. I think it's mentioned in the third one.
At the very beginning of the second one, there's like this montage of like, this happened and it led to these things, and the oceans dried up and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning, so which was nice to have after watching this movie, because again, like just going in and knowing all the iconography from these films and just being so thrown off by what is actually in this movie, it was a little bit jarring, but I mean, it didn't really hurt the quality of the film, because I thought the movie was great.
Yeah. You thought this one was?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really I think this movie, even despite not having like a lot of the pop culture things in it that they have like in the second and third one, I think this one really has like its own kind of like visual aesthetic that's really cool. It has like this biker gang like 70s hot rod look that I don't know, it pleases me. It pleases me.
And I will say this, I'm extremely proud that this podcast has opened Cody up to older movies.
Yeah.
And I kind of helped start that by showing him older shit. I'll go ahead and take credit for it. Cody will admit it. I showed him like The Thing, Psycho 2, Halloween 3. He wouldn't watch old shit before that. He gets bored of it. But he's like, man, these are really good movies. And, I think that's made him more open to watch the older movies that we pick. So him liking this movie shocked the fuck out of me. And, when I get to my opinions of it, it's going to be like, well, one's the loneliest number of them all. So
it's the loneliest of numbers.
Yeah.
One is the loneliest number.
But you'll ever poop.
So I guess I can kind of talk about how George Miller kind of came up with the idea of this first Mad Max.
Quick question. Who did all the zombie movies? Isn't that another Miller?
No, that's George Romero.
Damn it. Okay, my bad. There's another
George.
Oh, my bad. I was close.
So George Miller, he before this movie had come out, he was I think he was like a medical student, and he had seen like some car accidents, like damn it, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, he's
cadavers and stuff like that.
Yeah, George Miller, he was like a med student, and he saw like car accident victims and stuff like that, and so he came about the idea of making basically a movie kind of about car accidents. And one of his friends wanted to also do a movie about like a highway road cop. So then eventually they just put the two movies together. And
you got RoboCop.
Then you got RoboCop.
Sorry.
I was thinking
Roadhouse.
Exactly.
Roadhouse.
A young Patrick Swayze and young Mel Gibson would have been good in movies together.
And then you got Chips.
Yeah, my dad actually liked that show when it was in the 80s, I think. 70s or 80s?
I don't even remember. I've never seen Chips.
No. Piss off. I never watched it either. I just know what that is. My dad's like, you've seen Chips before? I'm like, no, I haven't.
I love Eric Estrada. His big penis.
If I want to watch like car accidents and like shit like that, I just watch the Rockford Files. It's a great TV show from the 70s. He's a private investigator. Do what?
Just watch Death Race.
Yeah. But who's in that movie?
Vin Diesel, right?
No, that's the PG rated versions of Death Race, which is Fast and the Furious, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Not Death Race.
It's about family.
Isn't that
Statham or some shit?
Yeah, Jason Statham, isn't it?
Yeah.
They made a bunch of like cheap sequels, and he's not in any of those, obviously. But
so yeah, basically, George Miller just wanted to make a movie about car crashes, and then he realized that he wanted to make a movie about car crashes, and he wanted the story to be about a person whose profession exposes them to like car crashes, basically, and makes them like bitter. And the idea that you could only really take so much tragedy before you lose it. So
what do you think if they made movies about crash test dummies?
That'd be...
I mean, like, there were feelings if they were, like, real.
Yeah.
I completely lost you, haven't I, Owen?
I feel bad for the crash test dummy that got stuck in the Ford Pinto.
Ooh, man, they kept trying it too. Well, we'll get this explosion thing right.
What if we just move the gas tank up front? You know what, Bill? You're fired.
Quit putting it in the ass in, you dumb fuck.
Aren't all gas tanks like in the back then?
Yeah, well, they're always to like the side.
Yeah.
The Ford Pinto
Yeah.
had
Yeah, it
theirs
was like
literally
right in the back.
Yeah, so if you hit it just right, it explode.
It's badass, dude. I want one of those cars.
Smokey and Friday actually drives a Ford Pinto. That's the car he has.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious.
I never noticed that.
My dad had to point it out to me because I'd never like seen it before. Then I saw the image of one. I'm like, oh yeah, that's it. So they're all driving Ford Pintos in this movie.
Yeah, basically. There are a lot of like dumb explosions. But so he wanted to basically make this movie about car crashes. So then he puts in a biker gang. It makes the main character a cop. And then he realizes that the audience wouldn't believe that like rampant biker gangs would exist in modern day Australia, though I'm pretty sure they did,
Yeah, I think
because
that's
biker
right.
gangs are like a big thing in Australia. But so he makes
What
it
else
like
you gonna fucking do? Fuck a kangaroo?
yeah,
Yeah, well, I was going to say the biker gangs in Australia are mostly just made up of kangaroos and those giant
Wallabies.
spiders that people find in their houses.
koalas.
Yeah.
Crocodile Dundee.
They go, oi, cunt, come on in, you fucking cunt.
Crocodile Dundee. He's over there.
Steve Irwin.
He's from over there, yeah. Isn't he
Yeah,
from New Zealand? Is he Australian?
No, he's Australian.
Oh, okay.
The stingray that killed Steve Irwin.
He's fucked up.
He's in a biker gang. He's in the Hells Angels, dude. He's like, oi, blimey!
Oh, this is a big one. When he got stabbed, he goes, "Oh, this is a big one."
Is that what he said?
No, he didn't say that.
I've seen the video where he dies. Like,
You're morbid. Why would you
I
watch
know.
that?
I don't know. I don't remember what he says though, but he does say something.
Crikey!
He goes, "Oh, god damn it!"
It's an act. I think he goes, "Oh, god damn!"
he's like the guy who plays Kano. He's actually Australian. Ah, god damn! Fucking Dyke stung me. God damn it!
Before I forget this, I have to do this. Have you seen Dumb and Dumber, the first one?
No, I haven't seen Dumb and Dumber.
Have you seen it, Cody?
Yeah, I've seen it like 100 times.
You remember at the beginning when he tries to pick up that chick, and she's very clearly got like a strong like Germanic accent. And he goes, "That's a lovely accent. What is that?" She goes, "Austrian." He goes, "Austrian. Good day, mate. Let's put another shrimp on the barbie." And she's like, "That's not." It's hilarious, man. And I didn't understand it as a kid because I'm like, "Oh, Jim Carrey is funny." And then I'm like, oh, wait, because that movie came out like fucking 94, 95, so I was like maybe 6. 2 years into grade school, I'm like, I don't know, what's Australian? Austrian?
What's the difference?
Why did they name them so fucking close?
I say potato, you say potato, okay?
Just swimming when that happened? Was he
No, they
like
were filming something. They were
Damn.
filming a bit.
And it went straight through his heart, didn't it? The stingray.
Shot through the heart.
And
you're too late.
You got killed
Stingray's
by a
a bad
stingray. We went
Yeah,
completely
apparently it's
different
like
direction.
extremely difficult to actually be killed by a stingray, but it just very, very specifically hit the point where it could kill him. Because I think it had to like go through his ribs or something, right?
I get it.
And, like,
Because did it puncture him?
Hi there, big fella. Sorry.
I think so.
A big fucking wallaby.
It went straight through his anus. Into his heart.
AC/DC is also Australian. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Akadaka.
I'm TNT, you fucking
That's
cunt.
That's what they call them in Australia, is Akadaka.
No, they're so stupid.
They are very stupid.
Fuck you, Australians.
I mean, it's not,
I was
for a country
watching-
that was basically a big prison for New Zealand, you know, you can
And it's
obviously
full
see.
of just monstrous animals and insects.
That's actually pretty badass, though. Like, imagine living in a country that was a prison.
It's kind of like Mad Max
Yeah,
in real life.
Yeah.
I was like, imagine living in a country where you can come home one day and a like foot-long spider is on your wall in the house.
What crikey?
For all of our listeners, it's pretty obvious that Cody and myself have arachnophobia. So, Just if we ever reference our hatred for spiders, that's why.
Spoder.
The only spider I like is Spider-Man.
And he has to stay 6 feet away.
But I guess we should get back to the movie.
I thought we were talking about current times.
No, yeah, this is current times. This is when we watched this movie.
Gotcha.
But
I gotta put my mask on.
Okay, go ahead.
We'll
Put your mask on and go stand over there 6 feet away.
Nobody cared who I was, so I put on the mask.
No one got sick.
I took off the mask.
But shit, what was I gonna say?
We're going back to the movie. You didn't really leave off anything.
Oh yeah.
George Miller car crashes.
So yeah, it was set into the future. The biker gang aspect is taking. It's influenced by a movie called. Shit, I don't even remember what the fuck the movie's called. It's been so long since I did the fucking.
I read up on my trusty source Wikipedia that the guys who were the bikers that George Miller paid them.
It's in Stone. It's the movie Stone. The Australian movie Stone is where the biking gangs are influenced from. Sorry.
Oh no, I'm just saying they couldn't afford plane tickets for them, so they had to ride down from Sydney to the filming location on their bikes.
Hell yeah, dude.
So
ride or die, motherfucker.
And I always found it weird that Mel Gibson had this Australian accent because I always thought he was American.
It's not like his accent in this movie, like it is Australian, but it's not like all the other ones. You can still hear like a weird bit of like American.
Yeah, it's not like it's just weird.
I was gonna say, isn't Mel Gibson American?
Yeah,
I thought
he was born in America, but he like grew up in Australia.
Yeah, well, he was 12 years old. His parents moved to Australia, and he's 21 here, so he's like 9 years in Australia.
That was something I was wondering when I was watching. I was like, everyone else in the movie is like, it's very clear that they're Australian, and I know that like, this was made. It's like a kind of a low budget production, obviously, because it wasn't this like Miller's first movie.
This was his first like studio production.
So like,
this was like the first breakout like Australian film, honestly.
Well, I think it was the second one. The first one didn't do well here in the States.
What was the first one?
Mad Max. This movie didn't do well in the States. It was the second one that was a big breakout hit for them.
This one was but this one was really like popular in Japan and stuff. Yeah. So
sorry.
I just mean like this was the first I'm pretty sure this is the first movie
that made it big outside Australia.
In Australia and outside, basically. Well, I guess there were other movies that made it big in Australia, but this is the first like major Australian production.
Yeah, I got you. I was just saying because I remember reading, because I was curious when you brought this up a couple weeks ago that you wanted to do this movie. I was like looking at it, and the reason why Mad Max 2, the Road Warrior, was billed as just the Road Warrior here in the States was because the first one did so poorly.
The first one didn't do very good. And there's a funny thing about the title with this movie too, is that the American distributor didn't really want. They thought the name Mad Max was feminine. They thought it was too feminine.
Maxi Pad.
Yeah, so they wanted a different name. And George Miller, there's a French comic by the name of Heavy Metal. And so George Miller wanted to name Mad Max that.
Heavy Metal?
Yeah, he just wanted to name it Heavy Metal.
Thank God he didn't.
But the comic book artist, like, he had no idea who George Miller was. He was like, no, I'm not going to let you use my name. So then
Did you say he was a French artist?
Yeah, he's the French like comic book artist for Heavy Metal.
So he was like, ha ha, I don't think so.
Cody, you started this. You gotta say it.
Ha ha ha.
Ha ha, croissant.
That's exactly what he said, and that translates roughly to no, don't use my fucking comic book, you bastard. So what George Miller did was he didn't take the name, but he took the font and the design for the title of the comic book and made it the title for this. So you know how the Mad Max title logo has those thunderbolts?
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly how it looks like for Heavy Metal.
I'm kind of confused. What do they think Mad Maxine?
I have no idea, but that's just what the American distributor said, that they didn't want to name it.
Maybe it was a situation that back then Max, like, you brought up Maxine, that maybe Max at the time was more used to shorten like female names.
I can see that.
Whereas like nowadays you would associate Max more with like Maxwell or something, or Maximilian.
Or Max busting nuts. Maximum load of cum.
Or Max Power, baby.
Maximum
Max
sexual
Payne.
aggression. Max Payne, yeah.
I don't even play that video game. I figured you guys was gonna go over that next. TNT. Fuck.
I'm fucking dynamite. But so the story of this is that
Sorry.
it's set in modern day Australia, so nothing's really different at all.
It's actually very beautiful. Like
In Australia,
scenic.
yeah,
Yeah.
I really like their.
There's no kangaroos though.
The outback looks really dope in this movie, and it's like the outback is such an
I
important.
didn't see a
part.
restaurant in there.
Strip on the Barbie.
I'm sorry.
They're fucking annoying Outback Steakhouse commercials. But
They got good burgers though.
they have good steaks too.
I'm sure they do. I'm a child when I eat out, so I get a hamburger.
Oh, give me the chicken nuggies. So,
I would like an order of 6 chicken tendies, please.
that's what I do when I go to a fucking steakhouse. Can I get the chicken tendies? Can I get a side of mac and cheese?
And apple slices.
Hey, don't sit there and like shit on that. That's actually really good stuff. The mac and cheese.
Yeah,
is
the
good.
mac and cheese is actually pretty dope in steakhouses.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. Maybe you get like baked mac and cheese. Oh,
Zooey Mama.
I do that shit by myself at the house.
What?
I'm like Zooey Mama. I'm like fucking Owen.
You know what's funny? Last night, me and my girlfriend, we watched the fucking Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie,
Yeah.
which is where I got that from Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Oh, okay.
That is like the fucking worst movie I've ever seen in my life. But as soon as the Zooey Mama part happened, I was like, "Oh, you said it!" Ah!
You're like that meme of Leonardo DiCaprio from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood where he's pointing at the TV like,
You did it!
That's you!
We should do that movie, that fucking terrible,
God.
awful movie. Dude, I embarrass myself when I think about how I used to read Diary of a Wimpy Kid and enjoyed it.
Well, you should be embarrassed. Why do you have a My Pillow picture on your phone?
Dude, he's fucking, it's my pillow, bro.
I get that.
It's
I mean, I want to
beautiful.
buy this product, but I just found that so
wanna buy
weird.
it.
It's like you see, like, there's a certain customer, Ernest, that's at the
I think we could say, I don't think he has access to.
You never know. I'm saying Ernest, he's a really
the
creepy
government
old.
banned him from using podcasts.
Yeah.
He's a very weird customer. Like germophobia, like worse than me, just to the max. He has like 3 or 4 hairs on top of his head. So pretty much me in like
There's
10
some
years.
peanut butter on there, too.
Jesus Christ, man, he's got a big scab, and we call it peanut butter because it looks like peanut butter on the scalp.
He doesn't fucking, like, wash his scalp.
God, let's not talk about this. I wasn't trying to get to that point. I'm just saying he has this like he always has this like picture of like a really good looking man on the background of his phone. I'm like, that's kind of
does?
weird. Yeah, sometimes he does. Yeah,
That's fucking hilarious.
he's a very weird guy. So.
But, yeah.
Owen is currently playing with his glass with
I'm
both
moving
his
it
feet.
away from your foot so you don't contaminate it.
You picked it up with your feet. You're like, yeah.
Yeah, but my feet haven't been to work. My feet are.
Well, I'll put the feet down if it bothers you.
I mean, you
so
can
much.
put them up
No,
there.
it's
Just
okay.
don't touch the cup, okay?
I'm sorry I put
That's
my
where
feet
I
up
draw.
on the hand
I draw the
stool up
fucking
there, okay?
line there.
Yeah,
So anyway, the plot of this movie is that it opens with 2 people having sex.
What was the budget
Oh.
and the box office?
So the budget was it's an Australian dollar. So
Oh gosh.
so
you,
it's
you can copy and paste it on like Google real quick.
okay. Hold on, wait. ASD to USD, baby. Well, also we have to adjust for.
1979 USD.
Doesn't Wikipedia show like the worldwide?
No, it's
Why?
only in Australian
Why?
dollars.
Why?
That's
Look, we'll leave it up to you, the listener, to fucking transfer this shit. Okay, look.
It's
what do
probably
you want
not-
from us? Okay.
Whatever it is probably less valuable than the U.S. dollar at the time because
Or-
it's 1979,
yeah.
baby.
Yeah, we were fucking, dude. We just got out of Vietnam. We were fucking gunning.
Well, what's their Australian thing? What was it?
So, the budget was 3,000, or 350,000
I gotta fucking look
to
this up.
400,000 Australian dollars.
Jesus. Oh.
And in the box office, it made 100 million USD back.
100 what?
100 million.
There's no way it made that much.
That's what it made.
And this
Sorry.
this one wasn't as popular as the next.
There's
two.
no fucking-
It definitely was not. But it was popular like not in America. So it was like really popular in Japan, and it was really popular in Australia.
Let me tell you something. America's the only country that matters on this planet.
Right here, motherfucker. I'll tell you what, if it ain't doing good in Hollywood, it ain't doing good nowhere.
I don't understand
red,
if it
white,
made
blue stars and stripes.
If it made $100 million in U.S., why do they say they?
I don't know.
No, I think it's just converting the worldwide.
Yeah,
total
probably
to
that's all it
$100 million
is.
USD.
But some moron on the Wikipedia page that we take from forgot to fucking convert the budget. The piece of shit.
Here you go. Sorry.
Thank you, sir. So yeah, that's the budget in the box office. So I mean, it was a success, enough to make a sequel.
Success. Mazel tov.
But yeah, like I said, the opening of this movie starts with two people fucking, and that's what makes this movie badass.
I like the. I had to think like what my first thought that popped in my head. The guy who was sleeping in the car that's got the buzzed haircut.
Yeah.
Looks like weirdly looks kind of like Christian Bale in the face a little bit.
Yeah, the other cop.
Yeah, the other cop, not the fat one with the
guy.
moppy
Yeah,
head.
the guy who cups it, who gets a saucer to the throat.
Yeah.
And then he has to go. He talks like what's his face from South Park. But anyways, it opens with a car chase and a crazy con by the name of Knight Rider. He's the fuel-injected suicide machine, as he says.
It's hard to understand that dude in this movie.
Yeah, because he's like screaming.
Yeah, and then the music. There's a lot of parts in this movie. Not a lot. There's more than enough.
It has that old
when people are talking, the music's too loud. You can barely hear them.
Yeah, that's definitely that like old style audio mixing.
Yeah.
If you I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, but like if you go back and watch movies from like the 70s and shit, like the way that audio is mixed is like the music is just so much louder than the dialogue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This movie had a very don't take offense to this.
No.
Had a very TV feel to it.
Yeah, it's definitely, you can tell like
it's like I've seen the production wise of it. I've seen episodes of Rockford Files, and I use it as reference because I'm watching it. The show ended in '79 when this thing. I watched episodes of Rockford Files that looked better than this movie.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Sorry, Cody, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna agree. Like, I didn't really think about it when I was watching it, but thinking back, it's like, yeah, it does kind of feel like one of those old like hour long, the type of TV.
It looks like
an
Duel, kind of.
Yeah,
that's why
it's got weird. Like it has those weird.
It has this B movie feel to it that I really enjoy.
Yeah, it just has, like I said, to me, what we talked about before we went on air. What the fuck is wrong with me? We started recording.
Yeah, when we put on our oxygen masks.
Oh, baby, I'm as high as a kite right now. No, there's weird cuts in this movie.
Yeah.
Like I was telling, like just the one example that keeps popping in my head, but it's like weird edits, is when he goes to see Goose in the hospital. He pulls the blanket off to look at Goose, and then it does a weird cut that is almost like a dream cut, like it kind of like the screen's floating, like watery.
Yeah, it has like a blurry kind of transition.
Yeah, and it transitions into Mel Gibson's face, even though you just saw it into a more shocked look. I'm like, why is that the cut?
And then we talked about the death scenes where
the one death scene. Like I understand, like they probably didn't have the money for the special effects, and they were just maximizing like what your mind would probably tell you to see. But him at the end when he runs into the fucking car, or the 18-wheeler, the gang leader.
Yeah.
That looks unrealistically stupid to me.
I don't even remember what happened.
Because his eyes get bigger, but his eyes are like popping out.
Yeah,
like
it happens for all. It happens for all the deaths.
Yeah, but I didn't notice that in the other deaths. They don't have close-ups of their face.
It happens on Knight Rider. It happens on.
Is Knight Rider a person?
Yeah, that's the guy.
Knight Rider's the guy in the beginning. Yeah,
in that black car.
He says, "I am the Knight Rider."
Because don't they like keep referring to Knight Rider throughout the movie?
Yeah, because he becomes like a martyr to them.
That's part of their gang.
So it threw me off because I thought that maybe it was a person, and then they kept referring to it. So I was like, maybe Knight Rider's like some weird like
some god.
Some god, like, I was still like kind of in my mindset for like the future Mad Max.
Yeah,
stuff
it
where,
definitely
like,
it gets like that.
Worship machines.
Yeah, it gets like that later on, but
yeah.
On this part, no, they're just like a shitty biker gang. They are kind of weird though. They are like Mad Maxy and kind of weird.
They're very weird. Like they raped that couple.
Looks like
they raped both of them, the guy and the girl.
They raped the guy.
Yeah, that's why he's running off with his pants off.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh.
I saw that the Wikipedia page said that. That's what I'm assuming what it was. But.
And then their new leader kind of looks like Raven.
Yeah,
quote the Raven.
He was in that other movie. He was like the main bad guy of that other biker movie that I was talking about earlier.
Stone.
Yeah, where they took the biker gang influence for this movie.
I mean, I understand it's like the whole bad guy thing, but he's straight up like pussy. Like when he runs from Max at the end, he hisses.
It's just so. That's part of like what makes it so fucking satisfying, just to see Max like fucking blast these motherfuckers.
Yeah, but he doesn't blast, and that motherfucker gets run over by a truck. I would rather seen him get blasted for what he did.
I wanted to. We only get to see one guy take a shotgun to like the body.
Yeah, and that probably goes back to the special effects, the budget.
Yeah,
and all that.
The other cooler part's the ending where it's like fucking saw your own leg. He's like, no.
They had to have Saul had to definitely steal that at the end because he was like, just remember that Cody at the end where
I think isn't it like a common thing though? Like, isn't that like a common revenge thing?
Well, we'll see in the movie in Saul, he's chained up.
Yeah.
To the bathtub, and the only way to get out is Saul off his own foot, and that's what he does to escape. So I'm wondering if they took that idea from Mad Max.
Hello, Max.
Because I don't think I ever seen it in any other movie.
Would you like to play a game?
Would you like some pussy?
Get on.
Oh God!
It's time.
You stood by and watched as your wife and child were run down by a biker gang.
But he didn't stand by. He killed them.
You were a big pussy that day.
Hey, come on.
Speaking of Saw, just as a little sidebar, I did finally watch Spiral. So here's a new installment of Cody's mini reviews. It was okay.
It was okay.
Yeah, it was fine. Like it wasn't. It definitely wasn't the worst Saw movie, but it wasn't like anything to be like, man, the franchise is coming back.
Was it as bad as the one before it?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't as bad.
Because it was the same writers in that
What's
movie.
this one about? Like, what did they make?
Chris Rock.
Chris Rock.
So it's like everybody hates Chris, but in the middle of a Saw movie.
Actually, that kind of is what it's like. Like all the other cops in the department, all the other detectives hate him because they see him as like a rat. So, yeah, that's pretty spot on.
I tweeted this joke out earlier, and I think Cody liked it. I just, for a future episode, I watched The Suicide Squad last night with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And there's this really cute rat in it named Sebastian. It doesn't talk. It's a CGI rat, but it's like, it's really cute when you watch it.
Yeah, Ratatouille.
And he does these little tricks and stuff like that. And I was in the bathroom, and my girlfriend was like, yeah, rats are really smart, actually. Because she loves animals, and, usually the animals I don't like. And I go, yeah, I know. I watch Ninja Turtles. And she rolled her eyes. She rolled her eyes 3 times. And then I put a GIF when I tweeted it out of Splinter going, ha, 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 I made a funny. It was perfect.
Can we have pizza?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Pizza's okay. But real quick about this movie.
Yeah. Do you like hot rod cars?
It's not my thing. Okay, the thing about this movie, can I get on my little soapbox real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I know I want to go ahead and get my negativity out.
Yeah.
And then you guys.
It's Lance's soapbox.
Oh God. But I look at it like this: like if I get this negativity out, the episode will be better when you guys put your positivity into it. Everything about this movie, every story element, is fucking rushed.
Yeah, it's pretty quick. Yeah.
Like everything, it goes from that whole thing of them seeing the car. Like, he sees the muscle car, like that really weird greaser dude who's like building this car with all these parts.
I got a Porsche from E&M, man.
And you don't understand what's going on when the police chief and the other guy you find out, I guess, is the commissioner.
They're trying to bribe Max into staying.
Yeah, they're trying to bribe. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever when you watch the scene. I had to look it up on Wikipedia.
I watched it with the subtitles on because I can't really understand Australians all the time.
Yeah, I could hear it. I didn't quite understand what the hell they were talking about.
Yeah, because sometimes they're like, oh, it's on the up and up on the bimbi, or whatever the fuck.
Are you talking about, are they bribing him with that car?
Yeah, they're trying to give him that car so he'll stay with the Metro Police.
Which that never
Gotcha.
follows up on because he just gives in his 2 weeks notice, or he just says he quits later on to Fifi.
He says he's
quit,
quitting,
I'm not coming back.
and then he's like, "You think about it, Mix. You can't."
And then later on in the film, he just like comes back and takes the car.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Someone stole our car."
And like I said, there's so much about this movie. Like,
Dude.
it's very fast paced. I wasn't bored with it whatsoever.
Yeah.
But it was just like all these story elements that weren't expanded upon. Like, okay, he's hanging out with his family. Like his fucking wife and child die, and then 10 minutes later, the movie's over with.
He's fucking crazy. He's gone mad.
Yeah, but there's just
I
so
was
much
gonna
in this
bring up
movie.
The kid, like, the kid is only in the movie for what, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You know.
And
So.
I can understand that. I'm not super. It was just weird. I knew in part 2 he wasn't married or his wife and child were dead.
Yeah.
I know that from like talking to my dad about it. So I'm like, okay, going into this, like, when are they going to die? And I was afraid his wife was going to get raped or whatever, because it's usually what happens. Like the good guys. The thing about this movie, you watch it. I mean, it's like I said, I wasn't bored with it, but everything was super fast and everything was super cut. And it's like nothing to let you breathe on something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's just really weird. Like, when his wife's in the hospital. And he's clearly, they zoom out and he's behind the door and the doctor's like, "Oh, just tell him she's fine." Like, what the, the doctor told the nurse to tell her he's fine.
like
She's
right
surviving.
there.
And then they're listing off all the body parts they're going to harvest from her body or some shit like that. It led me to be curious about what happens in the next installments. Yeah. So it didn't turn me off. But this movie, to me, it just wasn't good. I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. I'm just going to get that out of the way. I didn't mind it. I didn't like the movie. And I was just like, well, that wasn't what I was expecting at all. I just had like a very nothing feeling at the end of the movie. It wasn't satisfaction when he got revenge because it was like super fucking quick. It wasn't like they died in the middle of it. And he's been working this whole time hunting off the band members. The band members, Kurt Cobain, Dave Grohl.
Yeah.
But it literally, like, his wife and child get killed, and then he kills everybody in the next 10 minutes. Like, there's no setup, there's no building. Like, he's taking them out one by one. He kills, like, 5 of them on a bridge just by running them off the bridge. And then he shoots one of them with a gun, the one that really didn't fucking do anything. And then the one you want him to fucking kill gets run over by a fucking car. And then that stupid little shit, you don't even see him get blown up. You just see it in the background.
Yeah, but it's like cool the way he kills him. He's the one who killed pretty much. Well, I guess he isn't the one who directly killed Goose, but
Yeah, well, the one that he killed Goose, I mean, that's when he, like, I get that death. I'm talking about the one who, like, you want to see fucking die a horrible death. He just gets run over by a car, and like, Mad Max didn't do it with his own hands.
I don't know. I mean,
that's just me. I mean, you guys go ahead and, like, say, don't let this change your opinion.
Doesn't really bother.
I get what you're saying, because when I was watching it, I did kind of feel that way when the main like bad guy got killed the way he did.
Toe cutter.
Yeah, it's just like that.
Yeah, I was like, man, that just isn't satisfying enough. And then I was more satisfied with him killing the other guy, like the little twerpy side kid.
I don't know, for some
Johnny
reason
boy.
I just hate him more than the fucking main baddie. Like he's like a little piece of shit.
He is a piece of shit, but remember, he didn't want to throw the match on Goose.
Yeah,
it was the main bad guy's like, do it, because I don't want to do this, which is really weird to show.
After the main bad guy did it, he's just like all giddy about it.
Yeah, he basically, and then he kills that one guy for his boots and shit.
Yeah, well, but I'm just saying, like, everything else is, like, I wanted to see him hunt everybody down like one by one and kill them. Yeah, in a like almost gruesome way, and I understand that's not like that, but I just think the whole movie, there's a lot of it that's just kind of like, I don't know. It's too quick. Just for me, this is just my opinion. I'm not trying to sandbag this episode. Yeah. It was so much of this movie that was so cut quickly, and then everything in it was like, a lot of shit was happening. Like, I had to have my Wikipedia page out reading the plot as it was going on just to understand, just to make sure I understood what was going on. Yeah. And, I'm curious to see where it goes. And this will probably be the last time I chime in on this episode. Yeah. But this movie was just didn't do anything.
It doesn't really go anywhere because, like, the sequels don't have much to do. They follow the character, but...
Yeah, I'm curious about Max.
Yeah.
And I know it's more focused on him, but everything else that they're setting up in this movie...
It's not even really, like, He's like Clint Eastwood in like the Dollar series, and that
Which is
like
totally fine, but those movies are like 3 hours long, so they have
Yeah,
enough.
'cause
There's a lot of breathing in those movies.
Like I said,
Probably too
I've
much.
only watched the second one since. I haven't watched Thunderdome yet, but yeah, they make a reference in the beginning to like a man who lost his family and all that kind of stuff, and they never reference nothing ever comes from like that gang being hunted
there's no
down by him.
goose. There's no
None of that stuff like that cop organization that he's part
Metro
of.
Police or Metro Force Police or whatever.
Yeah, so really it's just like that his family was murdered, he got revenge, and literally everything else is just nothing has anything to do with
and
the first movie.
There's a reason for that, and it's because after the first movie did so well, George Miller had a hard time understanding why it was doing so successfully. Which is funny.
He's like, what the fuck? I didn't want this.
Yeah, he was like, what the fuck? I wanted people to hate this fucking movie.
I'm a hipster. I'm Ryan Johnson.
But well, he didn't understand why it was doing so well, like internationally, really. Until as the story goes, and there's kind of two parts of the story, like two versions.
There always is.
The first version is that George Lucas, friend of the podcast, explained to him the kind
this motherfucker gonna make it on every episode. George Lucas.
It's fucking hilarious.
I'm tired of thinking
it's
about
hilarious
him.
how George Lucas is so involved with so much 1970s movies and shit.
Oh.
But according to one version of the story, George Lucas explained to George Miller that the kind of origin of the myth, which is this hero character, kind of like in Kurosawa films like Yojimbo, which is always funny when I say Yojimbo because I think of Jimmy Neutron's dad. Yojimbo? Well, hey there, sport. So like there's like that, and then there's like Clint Eastwood movies, and then you have like the old heroes of myth like Beowulf and shit. So he kind of got exposed to that idea, and that was kind of what made him realize that the character he had created was basically like a mythological kind
tragic
of
hero.
Tragic hero, exactly. And that he could basically put him in any situation. That makes you laugh.
I wasn't expecting that.
Lance saw an achievement on my Xbox, which is in standby mode, and it's for Skate 3, and it's artsy fartsy.
I wasn't expecting it saying fartsy.
Let's see what the next one says. Never mind, it's not popping up. Anyways,
you got one achievement on that game. Was that you're like artsy fartsy? I'm done, baby.
Finally. But so George Miller developed this franchise along the lines of like a Kurosawa film, or basically like a Man with No Name kind of thing.
So you just like
what is a Kurosawa? Who is Kurosawa?
He's an old school Japanese
film. I'm just kidding.
He's a Japanese. He made samurai movies way back in the day in Japan.
Because I was reading about Zack Snyder's next movie is going to be another like Netflix production called Rebel Moon.
Yeah,
and it's supposed to be taking a lot of inspiration from Kurosawa and Star Wars.
Oh my God, George Lucas, go away!
So, yeah, we love George Lucas. Yeah, Kurosawa made a bunch of really stylized like samurai movies, and like,
gotcha.
He's basically why like spaghetti westerns exist, which because the old spaghetti westerns like the Sergio Leone ones took a lot of inspiration from his samurai movies and kind of the way the characters act and stuff.
What say that director's name again, the Italian guy?
Sergio Leone.
Okay, yeah. For anybody listening to this, he directed a trilogy that are really just based around one character, the man with no name, Clint Eastwood, but they really have nothing to do with each other. Yeah,
that's basically what Mad Max is.
Okay, I can deal with that.
Sergio Leone,
but they also
likes the pepperoni.
There's a movie I have to suggest to everybody after listening to. It's called Once Upon a Time in the West, which is a Sergio
Leone movie.
There you go. That guy. It's one of his movies. After he did that, there's no Clint Eastwood. There is Charles Bronson, the guy who did the Death Wish movies and shit. But that movie is fucking awesome. Henry Fonda goes against his typecast because he was the hero guy in all of his movies in the 60s and 70s. He's the bad guy in this movie, and it's fucking awesome.
There's another movie Sergio Leone did called Once Upon a Time in America, and the only thing you have to know about that movie is you can start it and then fast forward to the part where they're walking in front of the Brooklyn Bridge, and then you could stop the movie because that's really like the only cool part.
Oh, okay. Well, I never watched it. I wouldn't.
That's probably gonna get like if there's any like highbrow people watching, they'll probably hate my guts after that. But
I think the only person that's highbrow that you could probably consider is probably Alex, maybe Jacob.
Yeah, I
But I think it's more like a. I don't know.
Well, and that one guy in Australia that listens is like,
It's like, you fucking wankers!
he's like, stop! Come on in, stop making fun of us. Come on in.
You fucking peckerhead.
You can take us to Bendigo, and we can have a go, mate. So where was I about Mad Max? Oh yeah,
I got off my soapbox. I'm done.
yeah.
I'll
So
see you guys later. Bye, everybody.
the pacing doesn't really bother me, and the shots don't either, because I think it adds to like this B movie feel of the movie. Because this movie kind of just has like this punk rock aesthetic, I guess. It feels grimy and kind of B movie tier.
So it sounds slutty.
Yeah, basically. I mean, there is like people fucking in the beginning.
Yeah, but I mean, she had small boobies. You really consider that fucking?
Yeah, small.
was that something that gets more graphic in the next movie?
Oh boy, I can't wait. Are there bigger boobs though?
Yes.
Yeah,
There's. I don't even.
That better be
remember
your next
that.
movie,
I
Owen.
haven't seen Mad Max 2 in a while.
that should be your next movie.
When
I don't want to say just because I don't know if Lance is going to end up watching them or not.
You can't tell me about the fucking.
they fuck.
Well, so there's
So I got you
there's
there,
a
buddy.
scene. There's a scene where someone gets raped.
Oh, I don't want to see that.
And then there's another scene where like I think Max is like tearing through this camp that like the enemy faction is in.
Lord
And this
Humongous.
tent, yeah, Lord Humongous.
The father of demolition and Jason Voorhees.
Yeah, and this tent gets like ripped up, and there's two people having sex inside the tent.
Nice,
That's
bro.
amazing.
High five, dude. Hell yeah.
And that's what Max did when he drove by. He gave a high five.
That's how.
Did they refer other than the line about losing his family? Does he have like a picture of his family he carries around with him?
I think he does, doesn't he?
No.
Oh shit.
No.
Well, there's that.
I don't think so. I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, he has. He still has his black interceptor, and he has like where his arm got ran over and it got like broken and shit.
Yeah.
He has like a piece, like his sleeve is torn off there. So I guess,
Yeah.
and then he has like a brace where he got shot through the leg.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if he was walking with a limp or gimp.
Yeah,
or
he kind of
What?
he does walk with kind of a limp in the second movie.
a limp dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, until he sees that fucking sex, the rape and the sex.
He's like, oh.
Then his dick gets hard, and then he's really walking with a limp. Then
Limp biscuit. Sorry.
My biscuit. Who's with me? Can I get a witness?
First things first. The chocolate soft fish is my man Red Durst. Sorry, go ahead, Owen.
Max's Hollywood license to kill.
Redneck fucker from Jacksonville.
Jacksonville isn't even redneck. This fucking bullshit, Limp Bizkit.
I'm-
Fred Durst, what the fuck?
He
dude?
might be just referring to the white trash he was from.
Maybe.
He was from, not you, but him. Because you're from Indiana, so. Weren't you born in Indiana but was raised in Miami?
No, I was born in Jacksonville.
Okay. Your family's from Indiana.
Yeah,
So they were, they settled there and you were born there.
they settled there in 1792.
That one made Cody this is hilarious. I never heard Cody laugh like that before.
What set you off?
The whole settling 18. As soon as you said that, 18, before you finished the year, he goes,
Oh, God.
So was George Miller and Lucas?
What
Were
do
they
you-
good friends?
I don't know. I think this was after this movie had achieved success. So
Yeah, Lucas kept one of his business cards in his neck roll.
yeah, he kept Mad Max.
No, he's when Max, you don't see it, but before the bad guy gets on his bike, a picture of his wife and kid, and also a weird picture of Max hanging off of a
It
guardrail.
flies into the wind and it lands in George Lucas's neck roll.
No, I'm saying George Lucas put a bunch of his cards in like George Miller's whatever, and George Miller, it drops to the ground. He gets up looking around like, what the fuck is going on? It's like, call me, George Lucas.
But the fast cuts, I don't know, they just don't really bother me that much.
Well, that's just my opinion. I'm not saying it like I'm not gonna be the guys like I don't get why you guys like this movie. I did.
Shit.
It's fucking shit sucks. No, I'm just saying I didn't like it. I'm not gonna say I wasn't impressed with it because it wasn't. I think I went into it with zero expectations, but I'm curious to see where it goes, just as that character. But I don't think I'll ever go back to this movie. So when I get to my suggestions, it's gonna be like I suggest anybody to watch it like once, because either you're gonna be enthralled with it and want to watch the series, or you're just gonna be like, at least I gave it a shot. You know. I mean, if I'm going to suggest one-time watch for fucking The Greatest Showman, I'm definitely going to suggest this movie for a one-time watch.
Yeah.
That Greatest Showman was fucking shit.
But yeah.
This is way better than Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I'll fucking tell you that.
Charlie and the Penis Factory. He makes cocks.
Cody's he's like that gif of Arthur, like holding his hand, like,
yeah,
that's Cody on the other end right now.
Touch it. But there's so much shit in this movie that is just so cool to me. There's the cars, the leather biker outfits are cool.
I'm just kidding.
The bikers are cool. I like the fucking sawing off shotgun. This movie just has aesthetic, and that's why I enjoy it so much. Okay, and the story is simple. It's just revenge, and I think it works well. And the setting's cool. There we go. That's my piece on this movie.
Oh, it's fine. I mean, you ain't gotta overshadow me, which
you
always do every episode.
I'm not sure really how else to go in depth on this.
Oh, just like the plot of it's like, this biker gang, they kind of run roughshod.
Yeah,
you definitely tell they have.
Yeah, I guess we can, if you want to go over the plot a little bit. I'll do like a quick version, but so yeah, basically this biker gang, led by a guy named Toe Cutter. Because he cuts toes, I guess.
Did he ever cut a toe in the movie?
No.
Okay. Maybe. Does it mean toe like foot toe, or does it mean toe like tow truck?
Shut up, Cody.
Maybe,
I'm just kidding.
Maybe he just clips his toenails.
Oh, God. Toenail clipper.
No one else in this world does.
Oh, Toe Cutter, stop. It smells like cheese.
What if someone was like, hey, toenail cutter? He goes, stop. Toe Cutter.
Yeah, doesn't he grab somebody's by the mouth?
The guy who's... I don't know what this guy is, but he looks like a train conductor. But
yeah. It's the mechanic guy.
Yeah, and he's like, the Knight Rider. And he's like holding his face. The dude's just fucking weird.
Yeah, the Knight Rider. But fuck.
Baba. He calls it one guy Baba.
Yeah, it's his right-hand man, I think.
Yeah, the guy he fucking gives all the shit work to. He's like, go take care of the fucking retard Baba.
What'd you think about the Knight Rider crying?
I thought that was funny that Max was able to break him like that.
Yeah, that was cool. I'm glad you picked up on that.
Yeah, that shit was cool. That's why he started crying, and she looked at him like, God, I'm fucking this.
She's like,
but I wasn't expecting him to get killed that fucking way. I'm like, oh shit, that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, he explodes, and his eyeballs pop out of his head.
And the old Christian, the dollar market Christian Bale seemed very cool with not having a voice box anymore.
Yeah, he's not even mad about him, but he's like, oh,
we got to prepare him. I mean, there's some things about the movie I like, but
one thing that pisses me off though is that so the fucking theatrical poster for Mad Max, it has this really cool art where it's the motorcycle outfit that the cops wear, and it's like a double barrel shotgun. You don't fucking see that anywhere in the film like that. Okay? And it looks badass. But it's not in the fucking movie. So fuck you, George Miller, for subverting our expectations like that.
Well, I mean, he did talk to Lucas.
Yeah.
Lucas is very great about subverting, oh, wait, sorry. That was Ryan Johnson. Yeah. I'm sure Ryan Johnson liked that. He goes, that poster, he goes, that's nothing like the movie. That's how I'm going to make my movies. But
you only see that outfit worn by Goose when he's on his motorcycle with his little helmet and shit.
When they do that thing, the filing of, I guess, the gears of the motorcycle that causes it to seize up,
yeah,
and Goose goes flying, the guy that comes picks him up in the truck.
I thought they just lock his brakes or some shit.
Well, see, he went full speed, but then it locked up. He didn't hit his brakes. I think it just locked. I don't know what they did. They did some kind of filing to it. the guy that comes to pick him up just lets him takes the truck. Are you good? And he goes, never better. And he just drives off. And then the guy that comes to pick him up the truck rides off in a bicycle.
That's all
It makes no sense.
He lives off the fucking. He lives in a kangaroo.
I need
couch.
to exercise, mate.
He's like, come on in. Yeet. But so yeah, there's this violent biker gang. Max is one of these police officers, and he's trying to get out of it because he's getting desensitized to all this crazy killing that's going on.
A few more months out there, I'll be nothing. I'll be everything like them. Or some shit like that.
So he takes a little vacation with his family, which was a really weird part. I remember because when I was a kid, and it didn't bother
It turned
me.
to National Lampoon's Vacation.
Yeah, that's because when I was younger, it kind of like felt like it was kind of out of nowhere, and it was like weird with the pacing.
They're
Like it was holding
singing.
up the pacing.
They're singing too, and you don't hear them singing. You just hear music, and they're like la la. Yeah, there's like Christmas Vacation at the beginning of it.
Yeah, so he literally just goes on a vacation with his family. And
His wife is very cute though.
yeah, they have a son named Sprug or some shit. I don't
Very
remember.
Australian shit.
But
Hey, Sprug. You don't see the lawyers again. They get Johnny Boy out,
yeah.
and I really want to see those fuckers get killed. Especially the like really squirrely one. You know, the ones like, you're gonna pay for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just
It is interesting that there are lawyers because it does seem like this society is kind of like
they don't have money.
on the edge.
Yeah, because there's
you
like
know?
you have like these weird like police announcements and shit. Like it feels kind
Yeah.
of totalitarian.
Yeah, and it's just like it's almost like society is like teetering. Like we're trying to hold on to some sort of like law and order in this world, but things are obviously not going. I mean, because what police force drives the vehicles these guys drive and like wears the type of clothes they're wearing, like
And then, like,
leather
Fucking cool
helmets
ones,
and all
Cody.
that.
Yeah, and,
You
like,
fucking nerd.
The police chief is like, you guys can do whatever you want as long as it's on the road or some shit like that.
He says, as long as the
Yeah.
paperwork's clean, you can do whatever you want. Talking
Yeah.
about those fuckers, like he wants them dead too.
Yeah.
But then you don't ever
As
see
long
him
as the
again.
paperwork's clean and my pockets are lined, I don't give a damn.
Yeah, it feels definitely kind of fascist. Their government at this point, I guess.
I didn't get that. I thought it was like when he said that was like
I mean,
for
not
the
really.
biker members,
Yeah,
like all of them,
definitely.
not to everybody else. Like everybody
Yeah,
else.
that's
is
what
fine.
he meant, but I don't know. It's just not like something that I feel like you would hear out of a normal police force. I guess just do whatever you want, basically.
Well, I think that's kind of what they do now.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want, and when these lawyers show up, we'll kick their asses.
And then the police chief's like, I'll lick their ass too. 'Cause,
You're gonna pay for that.
yeah, I was telling Owen, I was not expecting him to be like gay. And it's not like he doesn't say it, but when he walks up there to tell him he's quitting, he's just wearing like leather pants and a tie, no shirt, and he's watering plants, smoking a cigar.
I didn't
like,
get that he was gay.
I didn't get that he was gay.
that's the vibe I got, and then I looked it up.
I
and
kind of
he
got like
is a
maybe
gay
he
actor.
was like
but-
just like I just thought maybe like, oh, he's like either just recently got off work and for
Yeah.
some reason is like half dressed, or he's getting ready to go to work.
I just
and he's
figured
half
it was
dressed.
like a funny juxtaposition to like how burly he looks. I guess.
I
Yeah.
think that was the whole point. But I just thought it was funny that. I think it's funny how Cody thought he goes. Well, I just thought he got off of work and he decided to leave his leather pants on, but took off his leather shirt.
and left his tie on.
He just
So-
got
It's like, oh, I got to keep this tie on, baby.
It's like
I mean, that part kind of surprised me. Then I'm like, oh wait, that kind of makes sense. Like the whole leather thing. And if you see him, he kind of when he goes to his house, he kind of drops the macho act. He's like not all macho. At the beginning, he goes,
Yeah.
"Hey, what's this?" It's just kind of weird because he seems like I don't know, very rambunctious and macho and shit like that. At the beginning, he's a big dude. He's like 6'3". Everybody else is so fucking tiny compared to him. But
So Owen, you were talking about the plot briefly, and you were at the point where they went on vacation.
yeah.
vacation.
I think that's when Max and his family really like. That's when the conflict with this gang really comes around for Max personally.
Yeah, I understand like why they have to have that in the story, which is why I'm fine with it now. But I just wanted to know if you guys felt like it was pacing was kind of weird with that, or
yeah, it was very sudden. It was like, what's going on?
Yeah, because
it kind of takes you a second to get a grasp on what's happening.
Yeah, because you go from like these crazy car chases to it's like, now we're just relaxing with the family while tensions are getting kind of run by this biker gang. It feels like
Max put on his best Ralph Lauren shirt.
Yeah,
and his polo,
and they eat ice cream.
They're eating ice cream, which is weird that exists in this area.
Ice cream. What the fuck? Ice cream had been around since like the 30s. That's really weird.
Like, no. I'm just saying. I'm saying like, I guess because my mind was still sort of in that like post-apocalypse sort of setting.
They just have an ice cream shop
mindset. It's like having an ice cream shop is so weird.
It is kind of funny, but
the one thing I found weird about, how fucking far away is that beach from the house? Because it seems like she's walking for days. Then she gets to the beach, and then she falls asleep for a day, and then she gets up and comes back, and then they're all running around the woods. You can kind of see them like when she first walks down there, and then you see like
But then Max can hear the gunshot when he's like in the woods.
Yeah, and she comes back, and of course they kill the dog, and you don't see the dog getting killed, and it's obviously a very bad puppet that's like hanging on the tree when the dog runs off. The brown dog she had. Yeah. Owen looks kind of confused at me.
Yeah, I don't really remember a dog.
The dog ran with her, went with her to the beach.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I think did it run off before she woke up?
Yeah, it saw something and then said, "No, fuck this, I'm gone," and just ran off. And then you see it when she starts hearing the noises and tries to run through the woods. It flings down on a rope. Like all this shit's happening.
Like all mutilated and everything.
Yeah, and then all of them are not in the woods; they're in the fucking barn. Like, it doesn't make.
They're like hanging out because they have her kid and they're hanging out.
Yeah, they have her kid, but she in the woods. Either she's hallucinating that they're running around, she's hearing shit, but the camera obviously sees people running back and forth behind the trees behind her.
Ah, shit.
And it's the biker gang.
Yeah, it is kind of bizarre that it makes it seem like there's like way more members of this gang than there actually are, because like you're talking about, she's running through the woods and there's all these people running around in the woods with her, but then there's like a large group of them back at the barn. So it's like, how many people are part of this?
I think there is supposed to be like a good.
There's like 20 of them.
There's a lot of them, but like
at the beginning, but you only see like fucking 8 for the rest of the movie after that.
But yeah, because it really only focuses on the few characters that are in.
But the funny thing, Max runs back there, runs through the woods with a shotgun, and then he comes running back, and it's just really fucking weird. And I thought it was funny when the old woman is telling her, "Just drive through the fence, don't stop," and that's what fucks them. Like, the fence gets lodged into the radiator, and
no, the belt was already, or the hose was already gone.
No, but see, the thing is, I saw it when I rewatched it because I rewound that part. I didn't understand it. There's a piece of the fence stuck straight through the engine, and it's dripping from there, in the where the grill is of the car.
I thought they did that.
No, they didn't do it. That was because she ran through the fence. There was nothing wrong with that car.
Well, he was like fixing it. He's like, I need to replace this hose, or the radiator will get hot.
I don't think he's.
But that gets to one of the points. That gets us to one of the points. One of the only points really that bothered me.
A red car.
In this, when they the car breaks down and they get out and she's running with her kid.
Yeah.
Why is she just running down the middle of the road? Like, why not get off into the dirt or something where it's a little more difficult for these bikers?
It's because the weeds weren't tall enough to hide in, is what I was assuming. Because I thought, it was like, why don't you just get off, like, hide? But there wasn't tall enough weeds.
But, I mean, there's absolutely nothing to hide in the middle of the road.
Yeah, that old woman was like, just go run. And she takes one shot at the shotgun and go, oops.
Misses, yeah. At least she was...
And then you would think that running her over with a motorcycle would like cause them to lose control, because I don't think it's necessarily easy to run over people with a motorcycle and keep going.
Hey, I've done it before, dude. It's easy.
I really thought too, it was really weird. I thought the way how calm the old woman was acting, like, here, you sit down right here. I thought the old woman was like in on the gang or like housing them. Like, when she went to go call the cops, quote unquote, that she was actually telling the coast is clear to come get her. That's what I was expecting, like you see in movies now, or like in the 80s and shit like that she's a part of it. That kind of like, that surprised me in a good way. Like, oh, okay, she's not bad. She's just fucking stupid.
Yeah, but isn't that her mom? That's the impression.
Yeah, that's like one of their.
I don't think that's her mom.
So one of their grandparents or some shit.
Oh fucking hell, mate.
Because I think Max is like, this Grammy.
It's like Grammy. Grammy's got that Grammy pussy.
She got that shotgun and that pussy. The police interceptor's fucking cool. It's too bad that they destroy it in the second movie.
Yeah.
It fucking pisses
So you
me
do
off.
Elderly friend. It's not somebody's grandmother. They flee to a remote farm owned by an elderly friend named May Swayze.
Huh.
Aunt May.
Aunt May.
Aunt May.
And Uncle Ben. Peter.
With great balls comes a great penis.
Uncle Ben, are you gonna be okay, Peter?
Put your Peter back in there.
Yeah, so like from this point in the movie, there's only like Lance said, there's only like 10 minutes left
Yeah,
of it.
Max just gets the police interceptor and then fucking goes on a hunt for all these fucking bikers.
And there's nobody at the police station when he goes to pick it up. Like all the cars in there, it's all nice and clean.
They're on
he just drives off. They're on vacation.
Every single day.
That's when Fifi's like, "Hell, I gave Max a vacation. Everybody take a vacation. It's fine."
It's like, yeah, fuck it. We have enough police. Then at the end, he handcuffs a guy to a burning car, or not a burning car, but a car that's about to explode, and then tells him to saw off his own foot or get dead. And that's how it ends. It is a very abrupt movie at the end for the resolution, but I don't know. It doesn't really bother me that much.
I just want to make sure I wasn't crazy. Like a lot of people love this movie, and I didn't. I'm like, are my stuff valid?
That style of ending, though, it's pretty much like that in the second one too.
Well, thanks for spoiling it, you dick.
Is like kind of abrupt.
Thank you, dickhead.
I'm not telling you what happens.
No, you just did.
It's kind of abrupt.
Yeah, it is. I guess from what I remember of the second movie, I don't know.
I think with the second one, I had to like go back and watch the last like 10 minutes twice.
Yeah.
Because I was so confused. I was like, did it really just end? Like, my brain wasn't registering that the movie was over.
Yeah, I think I remember that too.
What's funny, that scene when, going back to it, when Toe Cutter is about to get run into the 18-wheeler, and they go to his eyes twice, and they get bigger and bigger, like they're popping out of his socket. Yeah. It's the same fucking look that in the 1995 Mortal Kombat movie when Johnny Cage hits Goro in the nuts and his eyes get big, it looks just like that. Yeah. It just dawned on me right now.
His balls get bigger.
His balls get bigger, like, oh, look at my nuts.
I feel like the style is something that is big in these Mad Max movies, and I think you have to enjoy the aesthetic as well.
Yeah.
Cause
and like we've already referred to several times, I mean, the aesthetic of the first one is nothing like the second one, or what I assume the rest of them are like. I mean, that I think is probably when the
are there a bunch of kids in the third one?
Style really kicks on. What?
I was asking Owen. I'm sorry. I was just like, is there a bunch of kids in the third one? Because there's always a kid or a bunch of kids in third of the movie. Like, Return of the Jedi, you have all the Ewoks. Those are pretty much kids. And then it's like every third movie. It's like
I never finished the third movie because of the kids. I stopped watching.
Well, that's gonna be one of my suggestions then.
I mean, I'll probably suggest it too, because I really need to get around to finishing it. But
so why don't you like Tom Hardy as Mad Max?
I just don't think he's as good as Mel Gibson.
Oof. I don't think Mel Gibson could pull off Venom.
I mean,
that's a take.
A take spelled T-E-A-K.
No, wait. Let me elaborate. I don't think Tom Hardy is a good Mad Max. There we go.
There you
go. That's all I mean.
That's all I gotta say about that.
And I think as Mel Gibson got older, I think he was less and less of a good Mad Max, and I understand that's why he was recasted, but I don't think Tom Hardy's a good Mad Max.
Well, also I think Mel Gibson's in the 70s when they did that one. I don't think he could run around.
Too old and shit.
And they when Tom Hardy
he gets out of his interceptor and has to grab his walker. He's like, he's just like, damn it,
my pussy be hurting.
Tom Hardy. They said that Mel Gibson met Tom Hardy when he got casted. Like Tom Hardy wanted to meet Mel Gibson, like make sure he was okay with him taking over the role. And
he's on coke, and he's like, "No, fuck you."
He made some kind of weird bracelet. Tom Hardy always makes like bracelets for people he works with. So he made this like handmade bracelet and gave it to Mel. And Mel's like, "He's a really nice guy."
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
I'm about to cry.
But I've never watched like that one. I really don't care. I mean, Tom Hardy's a good actor, but I'd know him from The Dark Knight Rises and
Tom
Venom.
Hardy made a bracelet and gave it to the CG Venom, but he sees Venom in his head while he's on set, and no one else. But he just like hands it out, and it falls to the floor. And
He's like, "Oh, I'm glad you like it." And
Thank
they're
you,
all
guys.
like,
There's something wrong with this guy.
What the fuck? But another problem with Fury Road is I just don't like its story really. Because I've heard of the pitch for the fourth Mad Max, and I feel like the pitch was a lot more interesting than what we got.
The pitch and the bitch.
Yeah, because the pitch was something like Sorry, go ahead, Cody.
No, go ahead.
So like the pitch for the fourth one was something like I think it was kind of the same as there was this big like overlord guy, but he had like this cube, and inside the cube was like because humanity was dying, so inside the cube he had like a woman that was like sheltered from the horrors of the wasteland, and he was going to breed and recreate humanity with her. But that was like part of the pitch of the fourth movie, and I just think that's more interesting than just water.
Have you ever seen Waterworld?
Yeah, Waterworld's a good movie.
It can be.
And we know now that what George Miller's working on 2 Mad Max movies. There's like a sequel to Fury Road, and then there's a prequel about Furiosa.
Yeah.
Which I'm assuming is Charlie. What's her name? Charlie's.
Yeah, that's her character. But I think in the prequel, the character's being played by
Me.
What's her name? Anya Taylor Grace or
what's
her name?
On your knees.
Anya Taylor Joy. That's what it is.
Did you just say Almond Joy?
Anya Taylor Joy.
Oh, okay. So Almond Joy is going to be playing.
So on your knees. But Fury Road, the practical effects were really good though. So that's a plus. But
So
wait, say that again.
I've owned Fury Road for like ever since it came out on Blu-ray pretty much, and I've never watched it.
really?
Yeah, I think it's still in the plastic.
Why'd you buy it?
I was like, I like Tom Hardy, and this looks pretty cool. People say it's really good, so I'm gonna get it and give it a watch. I think it was on sale or something.
Yeah.
And I just never watched it.
Yeah, there was a lot.
I'll probably watch it now, but
You should watch it after the third one.
yeah.
So the hype will like live up to what everybody says.
No, I think a lot of people did enjoy it. A lot of people still do enjoy it. I guess I'm just hard to please.
Yeah, you are.
So
Hard to please.
I cook you dinner all the time, and you never
don't
accept
make it easy.
I'm glad you know what that song is.
I'm a fucking.
I think it's actually hard to love.
Yeah, that's
but,
what it actually is.
I'm so hard to have sex with.
Well, your hard ass penis.
Your heart is stone, please take it easy.
But that's all I have to say about Mad Max. So
That's
if
all
you
I gotta
guys
say about that.
if you guys want to end it, or if you guys just want to spitball, or what?
I guess I don't really have anything else to say about it myself.
Lance has a terrible opinion of movies, so don't listen to him.
Except for
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. That's the only.
Our most listened to episode.
I don't understand that. What's wrong with you people?
and Duel.
Who keeps clicking on that fucking
Click
episode?
on Duel. Actually,
I mean, we've done better episodes.
we had funny
It's
funny
probably
bits.
because we bring it up in every episode we do, so new people are like, I think I'm gonna go back and listen.
We
to that
had
episode.
funny bits in that episode, though.
We did, but I mean, I think Cody's The Grudge episode is one of the better episodes we've ever done.
A square.
That was our third
There
episode.
are several episodes that I think are way better.
Yeah, I just don't understand them. Like, why the fuck? And they keep like, thank God, Duel's no longer the most listened to episode because it kept growing. I'm like, that episode sucks. I'm over here like, the guy in the truck guy. The end.
That's how I did this episode.
You did it better in this episode, but yeah, I mean, I don't want you guys thinking. Oh, I don't really care what Cody thinks, but this was Owen's movie. I don't want him thinking like, "Nah, dude, you picked a shitty movie." For me, it just didn't speak to me.
For
like
me,
a lot of
your
other things
movie
did.
was a load of shit and fucking cum.
You know, the next movie you're gonna watch it, you're probably gonna feel very similar to what I feel.
Suicide Squad.
But you know,
I'll just say I love the Suicide Squad,
Yo,
the new one.
Are we supposed to be some kind of like
gangsters.
suicide kind of group or pact or some kind of
The new Suicide Squad movie is Guardians of the Galaxy with blood and the word "fuck" a lot. That's all. That's the only difference.
That's pretty much what it is.
welcome to the Guardians of the fucking Galaxy.
It's not as good as like Shazam and Man of Steel and Justice League to me, but it's probably on par with Batman versus Superman.
What about Thor Ragnarok?
Thor Ragnarok is probably it's probably like my top 3 movie of Marvel all time.
Yeah, that is my favorite Marvel movie, Thor Ragnarok.
Just because the Korg's in it.
Oh, come on, man.
We'll talk about Suicide Squad more, of course.
No, we're talking about
episode,
it now, Cody.
10-part episode, baby. So,
should we get to the recommendations?
Yeah, Cody recommends this movie to their.
Oh, you want me to recommend it?
Yeah.
Yes, I actually do recommend this movie. It is pretty good. We've kind of talked about there are some slight pacing issues, and there are some like decisions where it's like we had talked about the wife running down the middle of the road or whatever.
His beautiful
instead of
wife.
just going off in the ditch.
I said she was cute, not beautiful. Don't go that far.
I think this movie is pretty good, and I mean it was good enough to where within the next couple of days I was like ready to watch the sequel, and so I definitely recommend it.
And like I said earlier, I recommend it for at least a one watch, because you're either going to be like Cody and like not for some reason, it sounds very prudish of me, but something about the movie that makes you like, yeah, I'm geared up. Like he wants to go watch the next one. And this is the man that wouldn't watch a movie before 1994 to save his life a year and a half ago. But, which is honest. But for me, like I say, it didn't speak to me, but I'm still curious to see how the other movies go. So I definitely recommend it for at least one watch. And then you can decide, because this is definitely better than The Greatest Showman and definitely better than Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So, yeah, I'd recommend it.
I recommend this movie. I think it is good. I think even though it might not tickle everybody's fancy like Mad Max 2, I think it brings a lot of its own uniqueness to the table.
And it's not unique to me. On the Wikipedia page, the critics at the time were very polarized on this movie. So they either hated it or they loved it. So it is like that Rian Johnson effect.
Yeah. But so yeah, I'd give it a watch.
Yay!
Yeah. So thank you for listening to Filmoscopy Podcast.
Whoa! We ain't gonna leave the people off of that shit. That's a dud.
Sorry, let me suck your penis, audience.
Well, people, we can't go any higher than that. Cody, you want to tell us what your next fucking movie is gonna be?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Sorry.
Yes. So the next episode is the Suicide Squad,
Shit.
the new 2021.
Let's call it the Suicide
release.
Squad.
Yeah, it is called the Suicide Squad. I still feel like I need to clarify.
The Kill Yourself group.
The first one is just called Suicide Squad, and then the new one is the Suicide Squad.
And quick question, Cody. You told me in a text message when I asked you that they referenced the first mission once from the first movie. I didn't see that at all in that movie.
No, so I said they don't directly reference it. Really, all it is like Harley Quinn is like acts like she's really familiar with like Rick Flag and Captain Boomerang, which makes sense because they were together in the first movie on that mission.
And I was wrong about Captain Boomerang dying, so I apologize.
Yeah, which I actually watched the first one last night. The only members that die in that movie are Diablo and Slipknot.
I am a creature before I can stand. Will remember before I forget.
That was really good, actually. Good job.
Yeah, other than that, like there's no really direct connection to the first one. After we do that one, it'll be Lance's movie. I believe it's The Last Jedi.
Last penis. Is Will Smith in the Suicide Squad?
No,
he was in the first one.
He's
What
like,
the
no,
fuck?
this. And Iris Elba, is that how you say his name?
Idris Elba.
Oh, my bad. I wasn't like trying to be disrespectful. He plays a similar character named Bloodsport, and he's fucking hilarious. Like he's good. John Cena's actually good. He actually got his heel turn finally.
Is John Cena the shark?
No, that's Sylvester Stallone.
No.
And he was fucking hilarious. Some of the shit he was like, nom nom? Like, no, you idiot. And what was the other one that was like, I don't know. I like Sebastian the Rat. He was cute.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it on the next episode. Shit. I don't want to give too much away because I'm assuming you haven't seen it yet, Owen.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Shit.
Okay, well, it is on HBO Max.
For how much longer though?
It's a 30-day thing. So what, it came out like at the beginning of this month on like the 6th.
So that should be good.
So I think it goes until September 6th. Okay.
So make sure you watch it because we got to record it next week.
When September and
then of course Owen's next movie won't be decided until
it's probably going to be Mad Max 2.
Okay.
You say that. I remember one time you had this movie had a movie picked out for like 2 movies. Like,
and then I changed it.
Like Cody went and then I went and then after my recording you're like, I was going to do that, but no, we're going to do that.
I'm like George Lucas. I go back and I change my mind.
I think Jar Jar should have a beard now.
I'm gonna go.
I think Jar Jar should be Amish.
I'm gonna download a couple of our episodes and I'm gonna like digitally like restore them and change a couple things. I'm just gonna add a bunch of fart sounds.
The Owen cut.
The final cut.
I like to go ahead. I like to go ahead and say, talking about final cut. I got to broadcast an episode to everybody that's out there that listens to this podcast, friend of the show and fellow podcast. I'll Take 3 just did an episode covering the final cut of Blade Runner from 1982. Ooh. It's a very good movie, and Alex was the only one that spoke positively of the Blade Runner movie.
They didn't like Blade Runner.
Yeah, they didn't understand a lot of it, which is fine, but I mean, I don't know. Something about Blade Runner spoke to me that I was like, I need to look this up, and I was cool with having to fill in the blanks myself.
I liked Blade Runner.
It's a very good movie.
Have you seen Blade Runner, Cody?
I showed it to him.
I have seen it.
Did you hate it, or did you like it?
No, I mean, I remember being just fine with it. I don't remember like really liking it, but I didn't really hate it either. So
the ending,
I do have it in my watch list on HBO because for a while now I've wanted to see the second one, but I want to go back and watch the first one again.
Yeah,
which I don't remember what version's on HBO.
I'm pretty sure
it's probably
the final cut.
Yeah, it's probably that one.
The ending to that movie is phenomenal. He does the whole tears in the rain line.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Oh, we are. It's dust in the wind, dude.
I'm very I'm not a Ryan Gosling fan as an actor. Like, I don't hate him.
I liked him in Drive.
I'll never watch that movie. Like I said, I don't seek out his movies, but I thought he was really good in Blade Runner 2049.
Find our Twitter handles. Do you guys?
Oh yeah, at anything. Like it's literally everything for me.
And Cody.
At Silent Hill 002.
What is the 002 from, Cody?
Yeah, what is that? Your birth year?
I wanted to be. Well, Silent Hill 2 is my favorite game, but Silent Hill 2 was taken, and Silent Hill 02 was taken, so I used Silent Hill 002.
Owen, what is yours? Fisherman?
Top Hat Wishbone, I think.
Oh, I thought you said Fisherman.
Nah.
Where does the Top Hat Wishbone come from?
I was thinking about
Mary. Something about Mary.
Did you say you're thinking about that Wishbone show?
Yeah, then I thought about Top Hats, and then I combined the two.
Owen and I had a conversation at work where we're like, well, I asked him, do you remember a show that was on PBS about a dog running around different locations? So it was a live action dog. He goes, Wishbone! I'm like, yeah, that's it. So, but yeah, we haven't stop recording. Go ahead and say goodbye, Owen.
Okay, bye.
No, say goodbye, Owen.
Goodbye, Owen.
Thank you.